Hey everyone, I just wanted to make a quick guitar tutorial for the song that I posted yesterday. It goes a little something like this. And that's going to be used for the majority of the song. The chorus goes a little bit differently, but it's not too different from what I just played. So you're going to start with your guitar in standard tuning, and then you're going to tune the high E string down one whole step to a D. I've got the capo on the second fret, but that's not necessary. You can play it in whatever key you want to. So I'm just going to play each string open real quick so we can be in tune together. Okay, so let's go right into it. So the chord shape that you want to use for this little note progression is going to be, and that's going to be played with your ring finger on the second fret of the B string and your middle finger on the second fret of the G string. And then as you can see here, I've got my thumb muting the low E string. And then all of the other strings are just going to be played open, and it should sound like this. Alright, so let's hop right into the note by notes, because I think that's probably the best way that I can explain this, since it doesn't really have any chords to it. So we're going to begin with an open A. Next is going to be on the G string with your middle finger on the second fret. You're going to keep your middle finger and your ring finger where it is for the entire thing. The next note is going to be an open E. And I know this E string is tuned down one whole step, but I'm going to refer to it as if it isn't. The next note is going to be an open B string. The next note is going to be an open D string. The next note is going to be on the G string. For this next note, you're going to do I'm actually going to go back on what I just said. So you're going to take off your ring finger and play the B string open. Fuck. There we go. I'm going to play that one more time because I screwed it up. For the next note, you're going to take your ring finger and you're going to put it right back on where it was before. Kind of like a hammer-on. I think that's the technical term for what it's called. Now you're going to put your index finger on the second fret of the low E string. The next note is going to be an open D. And I screwed that up. Don't listen to me. It's going to be an open D, but I played an open A. There we go. And then the next note is going to be on the B string, back down to the G string. So what we have so far is going to be that last note that I played was an open D. Then the next note is going to be with your pinky on the 2nd fret of the high E string. So that's going to be for the next note. You're going to take off your pinky and play the E string open. And then for the last 2 notes, it's going to be the B string first, and then the G string. And that should complete it. Altogether, it's and that is going to be played for the entire verse up into the chorus. I'm going to play the chorus real quick for you. So it's similar to the verse because your middle finger and your ring finger are going to remain where they are, and the first note is going to be again an open A, followed by the G string, followed by the B string, back to the D string. Next is an open E. Back to a B string. Then to the G string. And then lastly, back to the B string. And that's going to be the first part. The next part is going to be exactly the same, except the downbeat is going to be a different note, but that's the only note that changes. So instead of the downbeat being an open A, you're going to put your pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string. And then you're going to play everything else exactly the same. And then the downbeat changes again. You're going to take off your pinky finger and you're going to put your index finger on the 2nd fret of the low E string and play everything exactly the same. And then for this last one, you're going to start on the D string, play the G string, the B string, and then back to the G string. Next, you're going to put your pinky back on the 2nd fret of the high E string, followed by taking your pinky off and playing the high E string open. Back to a B string, and then lastly the G string. So like this. And that's going to be the first part to the chorus. And then you're going to repeat it, and it's going to play the same thing. after that note, following the G string note, you're going to take off your index finger and you're going to play an open low E string. So it'll be those higher notes are the G string and the B string with your middle finger and your ring finger where they're placed. So altogether it's and then that last note is an open D. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Goodbye.